and nerves were dancing in her chest like fireflies. She was calm on the outside, but inside, chaos brewed. She had no idea. Her life was about to collide with a storm she wasn't prepared for. A man named Zane Kingston. He wasn't just the CEO. He was dominance, arrogance, and danger wrapped in a suit worth more than her entire education. And when his cold, steel blue eyes landed on her, something shifted. The air turned heavier. Zane never looked at interns. He never even noticed them. But the moment he saw Madeline standing in the hallway, biting her lower lip while reading a file, something in him snapped. She was different. Not just pretty and touched, unaware and unafraid of his presence. That intrigued him, that made him want her. The first time he spoke to her, it wasn't polite. "When you're done pretending to work, try getting me the files I actually asked for," he growled, standing too close behind her. She stiffened, not expecting him to approach her so directly. "I didn't realize Kingston Enterprises included harassment in their training," she replied coldly, without turning. That made his lips curl. No one dared talk back to him. She did. And that was her first mistake. Or maybe it was his. Because, from that day on, he became obsessed. Zane wasn't a man who begged or waited. When he wanted something, he took it. And now, he wanted Madeline. At first, it was simple. He'd call her to his office for meaningless tasks. Late hours, unnecessary meetings. Watching her fluster under his stare became his new addiction. She fought back with smart comments, unaware she was lighting a fire she couldn't contain. But things took a darker turn when he realized he couldn't get her out of his mind. He hated it, hated that she made him feel out of control. Zane didn't do love, he did ownership. And now, he wanted to own her completely. One night, after everyone had left, she stayed behind to finish a project. He watched her from the shadows of his office, jaw clenched, heart pounding. He walked in silently and locked the door. She looked up, startled. "Mr. Kingston." "Zane," he corrected, voice low and husky. "What are you doing here?" she asked. "Waiting for you to stop running," he said, stepping closer. "I'm not running," she whispered. "Then, why are you trembling?" he murmured, touching her chin with his fingers. "This isn't professional. I stopped being professional the moment you walked into my life," he said. "I want you, Madeline, and I always get what I want." She backed up against the desk, heart racing. "You don't want me. You want control." "You say that like it's a bad thing," he smirked. "I don't want to be another toy for you," she snapped. "You're not," he said, eyes darkening. "You're the storm I didn't see coming. And now, I'll burn the world before I let you walk away." And he meant it. When she refused his advances, he didn't stop. He started showing up outside her apartment, bought out her college scholarship, transferred her department. He wasn't just chasing her, he was consuming her life. Her freedom became his game. Her resistance was his fuel. And no matter how many times she said no, he kept pushing until she couldn't breathe without thinking of him. She hated that. She wanted him to. He was poison, but she was already addicted. And Zane Kingston. He had no plans of letting her go, ever. Madeline didn't sleep that night. Her body was still burning from the way Zane had looked at her, touched her, spoken like he owned her soul. She hated herself for replaying every second, every word. She told herself he was toxic, dangerous, uncontrollable. But deep inside, a part of her wasn't afraid, was curious. What would it feel like to surrender to a man like that? To fall into the chaos he offered. The next morning, she stepped into the office like nothing had happened, but something had. The air around her shifted when he entered the room. Everyone could feel it. Zane walked past the boardroom table and stopped beside her chair, fingers brushing the back of her neck just briefly, just enough to set her skin on fire. She didn't look up, but her breath caught. He leaned down and whispered against her ear. "Dinner tonight. My place. Say no, and I'll still expect you at 8. He didn't wait for her answer. She hated that her body betrayed her with chills. At 8 p.m., she didn't go. At 8:05, her doorbell rang. She froze. Zane stood there, wearing black, holding 2 glasses and a bottle of wine. "I said I'd expect you. I didn't say I'd wait." Before she could protest, he stepped inside. What part of no do you not understand? She asked, hands on her hips. He tilted his head. The part where your eyes say yes every time you lie to your mouth. He poured the wine, handed her a glass. Let's make a deal. One drink, one honest conversation. Then I leave. She took it, hesitantly. Fine, one drink. He didn't ask about her family, her dreams. He asked about her fears, her darkness. What breaks you? He asked bluntly. She blinked. What? Everyone has a trigger. What's yours, Maddie? No one calls me Maddie, she said. They will now, he said softly, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. I want to know every name you hide behind, every mask you wear. I want to strip all of it away. You don't know me, she said. I know enough. I know you don't sleep before 2 a.m., that you triple-check your alarm, that you bite your lips when you're nervous and fake your confidence with sarcasm. She stared at him. How did he know? He leaned in, his voice a whisper. I notice everything, especially what you try to hide. The glass slipped from her fingers and shattered. He didn't flinch. He moved closer. You're trembling again, because you confuse me, she snapped. I don't know if I hate you or want you. Good, he said, his lips inches from hers. Because I feel the same. And that makes this dangerous, addictive, and exactly what we need. He kissed her, rough, demanding, like he had waited years for that one moment. She tried to resist, but her body betrayed her again. Her fingers tangled in his shirt. Her mouth gave in to his, her breath hitching as he pressed her against the wall. The kiss wasn't sweet. It was a war, his dominance against her pride. And in that moment, they both lost. Or maybe they both won. She pulled away first, breathless. I'm not your toy, she whispered. No, he said, tracing her jaw with his thumb. You're my obsession. There's a difference. That night, she didn't sleep again. Not because of fear, but because of fire. And the storm had only just begun. Buckle up. Part 3 of Obsession of the Heart is here. We're going deeper into the obsession with betrayal, secrets, and emotional destruction. Madeline tried to pull away. She tried to remind herself that Zane Kingston was trouble, a man used to control, a man who devoured women for sport and discarded them like ash after fire. But her mind wasn't listening. Her heart was already slipping into dangerous territory, and he could sense it. For days after that night, he kept his distance physically, but emotionally, he haunted her. Gifts started arriving, a custom leather journal with her name engraved, a coffee mug with the phrase, Maddie's Mind, chaos in lipstick. A first edition of her favorite childhood novel, one she'd never told anyone about. She tried to tell herself he was manipulating her, that he wanted control, not love. But then she saw it. The photo, a flash on a gossip blog. Zane in Paris, holding hands with a blonde model. Madeline stared at the screen like it had punched her in the gut. Her chest tightened. She laughed bitterly, tossing her phone on the floor. Of course, she muttered, of course he was playing me. The next morning, she stormed into his office, not caring who was watching. You flew to Paris, while you were busy haunting me here, she snapped. He barely looked up. Careful, Maddie. Jealousy looks good on you, but rage, that's dangerous. Who was she? A mistake, he said, finally meeting her eyes. One I made before you ever became an option. You kissed me 3 days ago, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since, he said sharply. But don't expect me to apologize for my past. It's not your past if it happened yesterday, she hissed. He stood up, calmly, coldly. Do you trust me? She laughed. No. Then why does this hurt? He asked quietly. Her eyes burned, because I thought for once someone saw me, not my body, not my... He stepped around the desk. I do see you, and that's exactly why you scare me. She shook her head. I don't want to be part of your circus, Zane. You already are, he said. And you don't even realize. This is just the first act. That night, she went home, curled up in a blanket, and tried to hate him. Until the knock, not on the door, on her window, she gasped, pulling it open to see him standing on the fire escape. What the hell? I needed to see you. And you wouldn't open the door. That's because I don't want to see you. You're lying. She tried to shut the window. He caught it. You want truth, Maddie? Fine, I'll give it to you. I'm not the man you think I am. I'm worse. I've lied. I've broken people. I've done things that would make you walk away right now, if you knew. She blinked. Then why are you telling me? Because someone else will. And I want you to hear it from me first. He reached into his coat and threw something on her bed. A photograph of a woman. She looked at it, confused. Who is she? My ex-fiancée. And she's the reason I don't believe in love anymore. Because I killed it. I cheated on her. I lied to her face. And she found out on our wedding day. Madeline's eyes widened. You what? He nodded. I never wanted to feel anything again, until you. And now, she whispered. Now, I want to feel everything. With you, even if it ruins me. She stared at him, heart pounding. That's not love, Zane. That's insanity. No, Madeline. That's obsession. The purest kind. And just like that, he walked away into the night, leaving her holding the photo and 1,000 questions. The next morning, she found an envelope on her doorstep. Inside was a plane ticket, a key and a note. Asterisk, asterisk. If you want to know the truth, come to New York. Room 1707. Midnight. ZK, asterisk, asterisk. Madeline's hands trembled. Was she walking into love? Or walking into the dark? She packed her bag anyway, because sometimes obsession doesn't give you a choice. It becomes